If you ever wanted actual proof of the Marvel Studios and Sony's insistence on constantly changing up Peter Parker's suit in the MCU and even what he's wearing on set is a problem that we could actually see the results of in the final film, well, look no further than the actual visual effects artist confirming this. So it was during the early production days of Spider-Man No Way Home, where we saw Tom Holland on set with a CG motion capture suit, the normal black and red suit, some sort of other weird looking suit thing that was kind of an amalgam of the motion capture and that thing, which I guess they kind of used for both if you really think about it with the integrated suit. And then of course there were some additional other things that were out there, like the early merchandise and even the Hot Figures toy, which had the black suit, which had the red and gold kind of sticking out of it in a very weird way, and then obviously that all ended up changing literally like 3 months before the film's release. And with all that, we recently learned from before and afters who spoke about the Spider-Man No Way Home visual effects with the supervisor, Chris Wagner. He talked about how there was problems with the changes to the suit being made even so late into the game. Essentially, they started to work with the suit that he was working on set. And then, if you guys don't know, you obviously have Tom Holland on set there. He's doing the thing, he's got the harness, the wires and everything, so you have to remove those, and there's a team for those. The CG guys go over the suit and adjust it, put a CG model over it, and they kind of, play around with it to make it look smooth, and if something's a little out of place, they can fix it with the CG model over it and hide some of the imperfections. That's how it's been done since Spider-Man 1. And that was the early ways that they used to do it, and they still use it today. It's not entirely always all CG. Where rose the problem was the fact that they decided to, after shooting everything with him in the normal suit, to say, hey, we're going to do something different. We're going to have this integrated suit. So all the scenes, everything you've done with the visual effects so far, everything you've done with the other suit as well that has the gold and red finger thing sticking out with the black suit, we got to go over all of that with new CG, literally all of it. We got to put the integrated suit instead of the normal suit everywhere else and the normal Iron Spider. We got to go do this all the way over here. We got to change all the rendering on the black suit. And he said that this is just one of those things that changed so much because they had to change it in almost every single scene. And I think if you start looking at this, you realize what's going on, because they said, you look at it, you have to change the subtle muscle movements and everything. It's not just the CG suit. There's an entire pattern to how the suit moves and wrinkles and everything, as they say, because it has to move realistically. This is a big budget production. And I think you honestly do see these changes affecting the end result, because I'm sorry, I love Spider-Man No Way Home. It might actually be one of my favorite, comic book films of all time, but it quite clearly lacks the CG refinement that the earlier entries had. And you can tell that much of this is because of it, and they set a lot of the film in the dark for this exact reason, to try to hide it. I mean, I wish we got more time in the daytime with the other Spider-Men, but we don't, because they had to hide CG and had a rushed production. And we see that as an end result because they try to really put it all in the dark, and darkness hides some of the imperfections. Hence why many giant set piece movies such as Godzilla, Kong, pretty much anything, Jurassic Park, always like to do big set pieces in the dark because they can kind of hide some of the problems. So to me, this is just another problem with how Spider-Man's constant insistence on going over the suit with CG and constantly change it. As far back as Civil War, they had to change everything because they didn't want to use the suit they used on set, can deliver a less than stellar final product.